Good morning and welcome to the cornfield in Kosovo. So I'm just drying off my tent because last night it was super damp. It was really mildewy and dewy. Anyway, yeah, so everything just is a little bit wet. So I'm drying everything out now and that's it. So today I'm going to stick to my word and I'm going to have a break day. So maximum I'm going to ride today is 50 kilometers, but the town I'm going to go to, I'm going to fix some bikes today just so I have a reason to sit the fuck down and chill out. It's only about 20 kilometers away. So I'll ride there, work there for today, have some lunch, and then I'll ride off into the sunset, and then I'll put a couple more kilometers on the clock. But I just need to give my legs a break because they're fucked. I had a really good stretch this morning while I'm waiting for the tent to dry, but I just really need to not do another 100 kilometers today because I just don't need to. Let's spend a bit more time in Kosovo. And then we're off to Serbia. So Serbia, I think I can ride there. I mean, if I wanted to, I could ride there today. But we'll go to Serbia soon, and then we'll go somewhere else. So yeah, let's fix some bikes today. Let's help some people. See you later. Just helped a guy on the side of the road just now because his bike was broken. It was actually a really simple fix. He actually just needed to wheel it backwards and let the chain free. He was walking it down the street with the back wheel scraping along the ground to take it to a mechanic. There were three young guys, and they said that they love to cycle tour as well, and they love to ride around. And two of them had bikes that were definitely equipped for cycle touring. But the problem with the Kosovo and Albania and countries like this in the Balkans is that they're actually only allowed to, because of their visa and their passport restrictions, they're only actually allowed to visit 37 different countries in the world, and most of them are quite isolated from each other. I'm talking like, maybe one small country in Africa, and I think Thailand, Cambodia, but not Vietnam, not Laos, not China, not any of the surrounding countries. They're allowed to go to Montenegro, and they're allowed to go to Albania, but they're not allowed to go to Croatia, and they're not allowed to go to Bosnia, but they're allowed to go to Serbia, which essentially it's like you're allowed to, you're not allowed to, you're allowed to, you're not allowed to, and it makes it super difficult to travel. You have to essentially travel by airplane. You don't really have any other choice because you just can't cross borders. I don't really quite understand the political restrictions of these countries, but it's super sad to find people that just really want to explore places, but they can't. So they told me they're just going to ride around this village, they're going to go to another village and to their favorite bridge, and that's it. And they do it every other couple of days because that's the only places they can really go. It's really heartbreaking because you just meet young people that just want to explore and they want to do things, but they're just not allowed to because of some bullshit political reason. It sucks. So, meeting these guys, it got me a little bit curious to see where they actually do ride around. They rode off, but I went out of my way to go and find them, and I tracked them down. So here we are. We're going for a ride together. I'm gonna see what it's like riding around little country towns in Kosovo to get an idea. So yeah, so let's see what happens and see where we go, and yeah, let's get a bit of an insight into what people do around in Kosovo. Chill. So the guys just left me. All of a sudden, the one that I was talking to in English, who seemed super duper cool, just said like, oh, okay, now we have to go. And he sort of got a cue from the one that was riding up the front, who was sort of a bit sheepish and not talking to me. I feel like there was something suspicious going on. Maybe they were going to do something and I was interrupting it. But it didn't feel right the way that it left, because the guy that I was hanging out with the most, the one that I fixed the bike, he seemed really nice and really interested in hanging out with me, and a little bit disappointed that he had to go. So I'm not quite sure what it was about, but yeah, it seemed really suspicious that they didn't want to be around me, and I think one of them was a bit more of a leader than the other, and I think he told them that I wasn't allowed to hang out, which just really fucking odd. Anyway, back to the normal plan. Let's go ride to the next town and go fix some bicycles and help some people. That's the least I can do. Anyway, see you later. Okay, so I've arrived in Fedizaj in central Kosovo. It's quite industrial. Have a look. So I've come here with the intention to help out and fix some bicycles, but most of the traffic here is cars and trucks, and even though it's quite a flat city, there's not too many bicycles. I've noticed on the map though there is a park next to a university, so I've decided that I'm going to ride there and just see what it's like. But if nobody needs to get there, I mean, if there's nowhere I can set up and actually meet a lot of people with bicycles, there's actually not much chance of me actually doing it, because most people just think it's bullshit. So I actually have to be somewhere where there's a high concentration of bicycles, so that I've got a bit more of a chance to actually connect with somebody. I'm not going to be going up to people and just saying, hey, can I fix your bike, and then unpacking my bike and then resetting it up. I actually have to set up quite a, like a tool bench essentially, because I need to have a workshop. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, along here there's a park and a university, so I reckon it's more likely to have bicycles here. So let's go check it out. Okay, so I've arrived at the park and the university. Have a look. It's pretty much a rundown cemetery, the green spots. There's nobody riding bicycles. That's the university over there. Yeah, I think this town might be a little bit more car oriented and truck oriented, and there's not too many bicycles at all in the area, which is a bit disappointing for what I wanted to do today. So I need to find something else to spend my time. I'm going to have a little bit more of a look around and just see if there is any concentrations of bicycles. If not, I'm just going to find a cafe and just do some Wi-Fi today, which is, you know, a bit disheartening. But the capital city of the whole country is only about 40 kilometers away. It's quite a small country, this. It's about 100 or 150 kilometers wide. So I may ride there in the afternoon, but I do still need to take a break like I mentioned this morning. So see how we go. Anyway, that's it. So, as you can tell, I didn't end up fixing any bikes today. I just sat around and did nothing. I've been organising for the next leg of my trip, because my mattress and my pillow now go down every single night, like 3 times. So I have to wake up in the middle of the night and load them back up, which is quite annoying. So I've organised to buy some new stuff and have it sent out. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing today, just a bit of research. Also just learning about what sort of equipment I'm going to need to pass through Turkey and Iran. They're pretty much the only 2 countries that I'm sort of concerned about with the weather, because it might get a little bit too cold going through the desert. But I had a look through all the different temperatures, and it drops to 0 degrees at a maximum, which is what my sleeping bag's rated for anyway. So if it's rated for that without any clothes, I can always just put clothes on underneath it and just get warm. So I'll be fine. So essentially all the equipment I need, I've got. I was actually intending on buying a whole heap of new shit, thinking that I needed some specialty equipment, but no, don't need anything. I even looked into getting goose down instead of synthetic sleeping bags to be a little bit sure, but turns out goose down's no good for humid weather, and I'm going through Asia, so I'll literally buy it and end up with a stinky, shitty fucking sleeping bag. So I'm happy with the synthetic. Synthetic's going to work fine. That's pretty much it. Okay, so here we are, end of the night, in the tent again, still no hammock pleasures. Okay, so tonight was a little bit of a weird one. I ended up at a little cafe, and I stopped in there to get just something to eat and some Wi-Fi and all that, and I noticed there was a nice field where I am now, right next to it. And essentially I was sitting there, had my food, played with the internet for a little bit, and then I got invited to a table to go and have a beer. So I went over, and they were speaking Italian. Now I do speak Spanish, so I can pick up most of it, but I do have a little bit of trouble with it. But you know what, it was enough to have a little bit of a conversation. And then the woman there was having a conversation with me, and a small kid, but he only spoke Albanian. And there was 2 men there as well, but they ended up just leaving pretty much straight away. And then what happened was she got a phone call, and everything just changed. I think she owns like some small clothing shop or something like that, and apparently she was robbed of 80 euros worth of things. Now 80 euros doesn't sound like a lot, it's like 150 bucks, but in Kosovo it's a great deal of money. The Australian equivalent with their lifestyle and stuff like that would be like, I don't know, 500 or 600 bucks. So it's a fair whack cash for a poor country. And everything just got sort of awkward and weird. But fortunately, I don't speak Albanian, so she called up somebody, and some guy came, and they had a very long and lengthy conversation in Albanian. I just sat there drinking beers, so I was all right with it. And the little kid, me and him got along. We got along really well, and we were playing noughts and crosses and stuff like that on the table, and just trying to communicate as well as we could through English, Italian, Albanian, when neither of us really fucking speak any of them. Listen how much I swear, I don't even speak English. So yeah, the night was sort of weird. Anyway. So my peace out message is, even though shit things are going on around you, make sure the kids are happy, yeah? And that's all I did. So, yeah, I just made sure the kid was having a good time and he wasn't a part of the bullshit drama. As much as it was a serious thing for her, he didn't really need to be a part of it. So I just did my best to help him out and not really pay so much attention to bullshit. That's it. Peace out. Look after kids. They're the most important ones. And that's it. See you later.